Hello, everyone. How are you? And welcome to what's today? Monday.
Monday, it's Valentine's Day.
It is Valentine's Day. How does it get better than that?
Yes. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone, and
Oh my
happy
God.
Valentine's Day,
Will you be
Laleh.
my Valentine, Maria?
I will. I don't have do I have a heart? No, I have this.
It's so funny because I forgot it's even Valentine's Day today. I am in the US, and we were part of the certified facilitator training yesterday, and it's being aired from Australia as well as the US. So it was already Valentine's Day for them last night. And it's just interesting, like how often we do even look at Valentine's Day as a day that's about something and someone outside of us.
Yeah.
I love it. My daughter and her friends, what they did is they actually did a girls get together brunch to celebrate each other for Valentine's Day. And this is a different kind of conversation that I thought we were going to have, but we're
Yeah, me
yielded
too.
here. So, but how much are we aware of the projections of this day? How much are we aware of everyone else's world about what we're supposed to do, not do, that it's not a good thing if you don't have a partner and all the other stuff that goes along with it? So like the topic of today is, what are you aware of? And that's kind of what jumped.
Yeah. Yeah, and also how much are we're aware of everyone else's world, and then everyone else is doing something, so therefore we have to be the same as everyone else, and in order to be part of something, or we just have to do as everyone else does, and everyone else has this frenzy around Valentine's Day. And for me, I also, like you, I forgot that it was Valentine's Day. And then my daughter today came from school, and she was like, yay, I got like 6 Valentine's letters, because they had this thing in in school. And I was like, oh, it's Valentine's Day. So then I wanted to be this perfect good mom, like this normal mom, and I went to buy her you know a present, Valentine's present. But it's so interesting for me how we do this normal, and we do as everyone else does, because we are aware of all that stuff, and we want to be good little humans, or get good little moms, and everyone like being the perfect normal person. But how do kids just they just don't they're not entrenched in this form and structure of it. They're just like happy to get gifts, because it's like, for them it's basically every day is a Valentine's Day. But also when they engage with this, they a totally different, like playful and happy way. And how much are they? Oh my God, I love those trees behind you.
I know. So I'm visiting a friend. I got here yesterday. I've been exploring Florida, just different cities, because I really don't know Florida that well, and possibilities of where my new home's going to be. And I wish I could show you guys. Unfortunately, just the way the light comes, you wouldn't be able to see the trees, but I'm surrounded by trees that are probably a minimum of 50 or 80 years old, at least. They've got to be much older than that. And their beauty and just like the aliveness, that energy of being alive, that sexualness, that's what it is when you got that energy of being alive. And just how much last night being here, they were talking. Like, this is what happens. I go to a new place, new land, and they talk. Just like, remember when I came to Slovenia and I was like, I couldn't sleep because the trees and the land outside were so loud last night. But there's this, it's funny, I didn't sleep much last night, but I really woke up rested. And it is this intensity of nature, this intensity of truly us too. And when we don't fight it, when we're not resisting it, and we just allow ourselves to receive from it, it's just incredible what's possible. So
And I love as soon as we started talking about like even like Valentine's, or even like the childlike wonder or the playfulness, the tree was like, hello, I am here, me too, yes, I am happy and I am here. And it's just like it has this then sense of playfulness and aliveness like you were talking about. And we tend to, because we are aware of everyone else's universes all the time, and we walk amongst people and they have their own stuff going on, or this is like this Valentine's Day is going around worldwide, and we tend to forget about everything that's around us that desires to contribute to us. Like you said, you woke up rested, and how much is everything around us, basically it has this aliveness and this desire to contribute. And how much are we actually receiving and not receiving, and how much are we aware of what is out there desiring to contribute to us and desiring to communicate with us or engage with us, that's not this normal thing that everyone else does. So
yeah.
I wonder, if we did not try to be like everyone else, what else would be possible for us? What universes could we tap into? What wealth of information, of contribution could we actually tap into or receive and get to play with, that we're not when we're being normal and like everyone else?
Yeah. It's interesting. This morning, I have my little ritual in the mornings, I say hello to my body, say hello to the earth, and then I start playing with the businesses and really the earth, I start playing with the earth. And one of the things that I was made aware of this morning is also how often we have some emotions that are coming up, like you wake up, like you're okay, and then 5 minutes later you just want to cry, or you're sad, or you're nervous, like that panic of like something's happening. And how often we make it be that that's ours.
Mm.
We make it be that, oh my God, what did I do wrong? And go into the space of wrongness and problem, instead of what am I aware of? And, it's interesting because, we facilitate different programs and different tools. And yet for me too, like there's moments of, like even being sad, like sad isn't even something that was in my universe forever, until I'd say when this whole thing with COVID was really interesting for me. Like the level of sadness that was available in the world was skyrocketing, and it was hard not to know that it's there,
Mhm.
but also like you said, even with the Valentine, like if we're willing to be curious, and okay, there's sadness, even if your body has sadness, it's okay. You start crying, usually actually your body cries when it's happy. It's like finally you let go this shit that you've put all over me, and thank you for having awareness. Your body usually cries for good things, um but being aware, and then just like it's so easy for us to make the problem and the heaviness be more of the normal,
Mhm.
instead of, hey, okay, I'm aware of sadness. It could be mine, it could be someone else, it could be something else.
Mhm.
So if it's mine, it's okay. So now what am I actually really aware of here?
Mhm. Yeah. And it's interesting that you said sadness. For me, what when you said tapped into, and you mentioned Valentine's Day, and we were talking about that today. But for me, what came up was at one point I felt like, oh, that I'm alone. And then I was like,
Mm.
hey, it's Valentine's Day. I did actually ask a question. So it's Valentine's Day, and how many people have this point, have these all these points of view about being alone or being with someone because it's Valentine's Day and nobody, like, or they get a lot of attention, or they get none of the attention, or all that stuff that's actually going on in the world. And then for me, it's also, I knew it wasn't real for me because I know that I love to be alone. Um, that's actually my reality. I did not realize that until I actually started using the tools. And then, and also for me, I know that I'm never alone because we never are. And that's the whole thing that also we're talking about with the awareness. How much is there, and how much is there, there's a universe of contribution and universe of, like, every molecule is there with you. So basically, how much are you really alone? Is that really true? And can you ever be alone with everything that's around us and that is desiring to contribute to us, if we actually would open up and start receiving or start engaging in a different way?
Yeah. It's interesting, like how often also like we think it has to be this big deal thing, Like even this room, my friend's in the other room. And so I'm here doing the Facebook Live and I just said hello to the room. Hi, can I come in? Can I do a Facebook Live in here? And it's like how much you then immediately engage the molecules, the consciousness of everything. And it literally was like a hug. Like today, the high is going to be 60 degrees. I don't know what that is in your temperature, but probably maybe like 12 maybe, or 14 or something.
Okay.
And and I'm wearing my wool sweater in Florida. I never thought I would. But it really was like this snuggle from the room, or even like going outside, people used to say, oh, you're funny, you hug a tree, but like hug a tree, see how much that tree is gifting to you, or just lay your feet or your body on grass
Yeah.
and notice how much the earth, the grass, the spirits of the earth are actually hugging you and gifting to you. But it's a two-way street, like for my whole life, I've loved trees, and trees have always been important. And it was always this like, I'm doing for the earth. Like, what can I do for the earth? What can I contribute to the earth? And it really wasn't until Access Consciousness I realized nothing in the universe is one way unless you stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in the universe, the laws of the universe is that it's a contribution of gifting and receiving, not about give and take, which is what we learn, right? I give you this, let me take back. But like, I just want to say, like, my friend's so cute. She bought like all these roses and she put this particular one in this room. And it's just so lovely.
It
And
is.
I mean, just notice, would you be willing to receive from this?
Yeah. I actually did when you
Yeah,
just
I know
like
you
showed
did.
it. Yeah. And also, yeah, I know you were talking to the people that are looking, like they're watching this, but it's so interesting. And even I have a wallpaper or just a wall there. And even that flower on there is basically it becomes, as soon as you showed this flower in your hand, it started communicating with the flower, and it started becoming more alive, and it started being like vibrant, and like the colors started being more here and present. um and how much, like, every molecule basically communicates with each other. It's always there if we let it, if we just like be with it, if we start being present with that. And even like I remember in the morning today, like this was something that I actually was started to be aware of and present with. I came down the stairs, I went out, I came down the stairs, and before I went to the car, my cat was outside, and he came in, and I was like, oh, hey, cat, because I was like, hey, I just actually like, and then there was this neighbor was like, why is she, like that look on his face, like, why is she talking to a cat? But for me, it was like, totally, yeah, of course, I'm gonna acknowledge it's there, and I'm gonna say hi. I'm not gonna ignore it. I'm gonna include it in my universe, and then also then receive everything, as I'm gifting. Also, I will at the same time, I'll receive everything that the cat, because the cat was like, oh, hello. He was so happy to be there. Like every plant and every animal, like when you just like acknowledge it and just like say hi, it's not this big thing. It's just like hi, including it. Oh, you're there. Thank you for being there. Like
Yeah.
it just, how much do we, when we gift, that also receive, you know as it's the same with the flower. When you were showing it, it was this beautiful simultaneity of gifting and receiving that occurred.
Yeah. It was interesting when I was in Slovenia with you and Barbara and everyone else. We had a conscious vagina workshop, and we went to buy a few items for the class. And I always love having flowers. And so I had asked which flowers. I always ask, which one wants to come. And of course, a lot of them say they want to come, but I always ask which one's going to make me money. It's not about the physical money, but it is this gifting and receiving conversation, And one particular one was just so beautiful and just stood out and said yes. And, Barbara bought that one. And we had it during the class. And it was so interesting because most of the buds were closed except two. And then I was talking to them because for me, oh my God, it just brings so much joy, this engagement with flowers and trees and just everything. And there was this conversation, and I could tell also how much they were contributing to the energies of the class. Like we don't realize, but everything like can actually contribute to what you're desiring to create if you're willing to receive it, because they're just gifting. Are you willing to also receive it? And then it bloomed day 2 of our class. And then Barbara sent me pictures like up until a week later. Wow. She's like, I've never seen tulips last as long as these did and be as vibrant as they were.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but to me that was like, yeah, of course they do, because that's just how it is with me. But I realized it's because I'm engaging. There is this communication that's happening. There's a conversation that's happening. And there's also this contribution of gifting and receiving that's happening. And also, how much is it changing your world? The molecules of your world. Yeah. For me, I know it just brings a level of ease and joy in my world.
Yeah. And also how much then did that contribute to changing and contributing to Barbara's universe? Because she was like, I have never seen this before, right? And then now all that, this story, actually, this information also contributes to everyone listening to with that. And how much that plant, that rose, that like that not rose, tulips, yes, how much they have, like, just by being them, how much they opened the door to so much more for us. Like they facilitated everything.
They facilitated the people who were in class, the ones who were online. Like it's had like this whole,
it keeps going.
trickle, and we talk about the trickles, right? We talk about the trickles and adding them into the world, but we don't realize every energy and every action is the trickle.
Yeah.
Every engagement is the trickle. Every conversation is the trickle, know?
Yeah. And for everyone, we opened this door about receiving, and we could talk about receiving. We could go for hours and days, and we actually probably will be during our class that's coming up.
Well, I don't know that our class is going to be going on for days and weeks and months, but
Days, yes.
it could.
Yeah.
It
It's
could.
three
No,
days.
but it does actually. Can we acknowledge that? Because it
Yeah.
is. It's like, when you are asking questions, when you are allowing truly the universe, the elements, you're allowing them to contribute, it does continue going and going and going. Like even the conscious vagina class, we had that together in Slovenia. Like I'm still receiving feedback from people from the changes that they perceived. And the same thing with our class. We're doing a talk to the entities beginning class.
Mhm.
And we split it up. We split it up to make it be ease for everyone online, because it's going to be online. And it's going to be 4 hours for 3 days. Is
Yes.
that correct? Yeah. Yeah. Starting on the 16th. And really like the exploration, because I love facilitating, and I also love how this class is so different than anything else that's out there.
Yes. Yeah, and like you said, like it goes on for days or even weeks, and it goes on until like it still contributes, it still creates, and it still, it still goes, and even before the actual class, it's just it's already facilitating, and it's already speaking, and it's swarming, and it's co-creating and contributing and receiving, and it's like this beautiful dance that we get to engage with and co-create, and even now, like we're talking about all of this, it's we so know that that is part of the whole thing that's being created, and see like the trees
Maya, this
behind
is
you
so
again.
different. This is
Yeah.
so different because, I've been in the business world for over 30 years, and we always had trainings. We had workshops, we had, self-development. Well, it was really like career development kind of things. And there were a lot of trainings that were just boring, like you went, it was the facilitator was A plus B equals C, and you were just sitting there, you were dreading it. And this is different because it's about opening your awareness. Now, it's not just I'm opening my awareness. It These changes contribute to everything in your life. It can contribute to your work, being more ease, how you deal with people, whether they're your family, your friends, strangers, colleagues, whatever. It can change your whole world of how you receive, including money. And
Mhm.
one thing I found is, when I was married and I would go take one of the workshops, Peter would ask me, what did you get out of this class? Like you take so many. I've never seen anyone take so many workshops and seminars. Like, why do you do it? And every single one, I would say, oh my God, that one was life changing. And he's like, you only say it's life changing. Like, it can't all be life changing. And I'm like, but it is, because my life would change. I would change. And it's because we were adding consciousness, as you're asking questions, as you're learning the tools, your awareness is expanding,
Yeah.
and so many things. I was never a person that made myself wrong. Like, that wasn't really my cup of tea. But it really was always this self-development of like, how can I get greater? How much more information can I utilize to be better? You know what I mean? And it really, with the talk to the entities, the title, I have to say, it's odd.
Yeah.
You usually don't have, most business classes that start with that title. However, your business is an entity.
Mm.
In America, when you go set up the name of your business and legally set it up, you set up an entity. That's what it's called, And so everything like this, yeah, entity, yeah, you, entity, yeah, And when we open up our world of curiosity, like what else is possible?
Yeah. And I love what you were saying about like in business, yeah, like usual normal business classes or the other business classes you've attended, and me as well. It was mostly it was about excluding, just focusing on one thing and then excluding everything else and everyone else. But here we actually are including everything, and it's like we more, the more our awareness expands, the more we are able to include everything around us, and everything becomes a contribution, and everything can contribute to us, our business, our money flows, our creations. Everything just intertwines, and it starts and is this this perpetuum mobile. I don't know if it says, if you can say that in English. That's it, this never ending simultaneity of gifting and receiving. It just goes and goes and goes and goes and never
Yeah.
stops. It's if you just let it. um and the other thing that popped up for me was, I remembered, it's with this particular class, Talk to the Entities. It's so interesting that people that used to work on a lot of things, and there was stuff that would not change in their lives. They had these problems that would problems, you know, or stuff that would not change, and they tried this and they tried that and they tried everything under the sun. And then they attended a Talk to the Entities class, and because
Yeah.
it was something, it wasn't that linear. The thing that changed afterwards wasn't basically something that you could go to, or that you can think out of, or fix it by thinking, or by being linear, or being, having these using the conventional tools. And when their receiving expanded, or when their point of view changed, also the thing that would never before be a problem, or would never before change, would change in miraculous ways they could not believe. And even I, in my life, I couldn't believe stuff would change that was seemingly totally not connected to what I was choosing in this class. But
But
basically, yeah.
do you remember even when we went live last week, like the internet issues? It's very
Yeah,
funny. You know
it
what I mean? Like simple things like that. Or sometimes people have migraines or headaches, or they thought they had depression or whatever. Like it's just been very fascinating when we open up and we're more curious and we actually ask questions.
yes.
What else is available as a resource and information and awareness?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually had a friend of mine that she had a back pain forever, and she could not, like, she went to the physical therapist, like everything, and she could not get rid of it. Or she couldn't, it wouldn't stop, it wouldn't change. It would get better a little bit, but then it would come back. So we like in 15 minutes, I think, we just like, I asked her some questions, and we got to the awareness of maybe there was entities involved, and there was something to do with entities. And I facilitated or asked her a few questions, and that changed. She doesn't have problems with her back anymore. Just
Yeah.
15 minutes of conversation, of asking questions, and it's changed. While everything else, yeah, I was like, for me, it was also wow.
Yeah.
Even for me, that I've seen a lot, and I've been like experienced and um yeah, seen a lot. And then even for me, it was like such a gift to witness that. Yeah. So what else is possible? And
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it's actually totally, it's always an adventure. These classes are always adventure, because even we when we're facilitating, we don't know what it's going to be like. We don't know what's going to happen, and that's the adventure, because we just get on a journey and use the tools, ask questions, and be.
Well, what I love is that this class actually has a manual, and oh, I love this manual. I use it as a resource all the time. And so you have something that you walk away with. You got audios, you got videos, you got a manual, but it's really that one question. You know what I mean? Just like one question can open up the doors to all these things that you've been inquiring about and just never knew where to start,
Yeah.
you know? But I do want to thank everyone who's been here, who's watching now and later, and truly what else is possible with you and what you know about entities and the spirit world that maybe you haven't yet acknowledged. And if it would be fun for you guys, come play. The only prereq is the Access Consciousness bars. And you still have time. You could even do that tomorrow if you wanted to. Class starts on Wednesday, and we'll go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for 4 hours. And we made it be global time so that we can really get people from all around the world to come join us. We do have translation available in Arabic and in English too. Sometimes we need English translation. Just kidding. And we can also have Spanish. If someone's interested in Spanish, we can also have Spanish translation. So yeah, let us know. And then if any other language, as long as we have the demand for it, we can definitely create the translation as well. But you need to let us know like ASAP and register.
Yes. Yeah. We will provide the link to register below this Facebook Live.
Definitely.
So thank you, Laleh, and thank you everyone for listening and being with us.
Yeah. And what else is possible today that was not possible yesterday?
Yes, that got me excited.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Laleh. Bye.